Advent Sunday today, beginning of the new year for the church. We turn purple in the church. It's a season of stopping and thinking and reflecting as we realise that Christmas is on its way. Okay, right, the news for Sunday, the 28th of November. Here we go. What are we going to do with all these COVID restrictions? Well, the legalities haven't actually changed since the 3rd of September, so we're running with the 1 metre plus a mask. But myself and Reverend Glenda have sort of sat down and decided to err on the side of caution, particularly because she's just had COVID. We know of other priests who have caught it and are getting through it. I had a near miss that almost cancelled a trip to visit all the family. So it's not fearful anymore, but it is really annoying if it bubbles up, people get it, and it keeps families apart for Christmas. That's where we're coming from. So we're going to stay through the end of November, December and January with one service on a Sunday in one place and then private prayer if appropriate. And then we've got extra things that we've put in for Christmas. We've shared them out between the three churches, Midnight Mass, Christmas Day, and carol services. We're going to have those, but we're going to do them outside again, right? We'll do them sort of a bit earlier in the afternoon. We will provide the mulled wine. You wear your scarf. So there are things going on, but we're erring on the side of caution. We could technically fill our buildings with people and sing. It just still seems safer to be outside. We don't want people catching it and, like I say, being separated or isolating for Christmas. So that's our thinking behind it. Next, ministry areas. The decree that makes us a ministry area is being written as I speak to you, and will probably come into effect on the 1st of January, when the PCCs, the parish system, everything we've known for 1,000 years becomes dissolved. I mean, it's really sad. I feel sad, but also really exciting to be alive at a time when the church is going through this transition. As the years move on then, and this new ministry era takes effect, we'll share ideas and activities, as we've done across 3 churches for a good while, across the 10 churches with all our brothers and sisters, and we'll see where God will take us. This isn't sort of a man-made knee-jerk thing, slowly and deliberately with God at the helm. Let's see where we go. A group has been formed called the Ministry Area Transition Team. So that is representatives from all across the 10 churches. Find your local rep for a chat. We had a presentation when we first met as a MAT group a week or two back, and that is up on the church website. It shows a roadmap of how things are going to move in the next few months. Look at the ministry area page on our website. And also on there, if you've not already, have a dig into the other parishes that we're gathering with. I've got links on our ministry area page, the ministry area page on our website, to their parishes, their parish websites and Facebook pages. So have a look. And remember, if you know somebody that would like the text of these online sermons, let Judy know and she'll get that out to you. We want to make sure we catch everybody in person or online, or those that can't do sort of either, with sort of mail shots, physical mail shots, virtual and postal. That's how this parish has gone. And, if you're just a bit fed up and you want to chat, you can ring me and Glenda at any time as part of what we do. Happy to chat and talk with you through whatever is going on. I've had more chats with people on the fringes of church in the last couple of months than ever before. People going, what is going on? Where is God in all this? So happy to chat. Got my opinions. Happy to chat and pray with you. Right, back to today. Luke 21, 25 to 36 is the reading. It's Jesus talking, and it's a big conversation. It's a big conversation. Jesus is chatting to the boys. Here we go. Jesus said, "It will seem like all hell has broken loose. Sun, moon, stars, earth, sea in an uproar, and everyone all over the world in a panic. The wind knocked out of them by the threat of doom, the powers that be quaking. And then they'll see the Son of Man welcomed in grand style, a glorious welcome. When all this starts to happen, up on your feet, stand tall with your heads high. Help is on the way." He told them a story. Look at a fig tree, any tree for that matter. When the leaves begin to show, one look tells you that summer is right around the corner. The same here. When you see these things happen, you know God's kingdom is about here. Don't brush this off. I'm not just saying this for some future generations, but for this one too. These things will happen. Sky and earth will wear out. My words won't wear out. Be on your guard. Don't let the sharp edge of your expectation get dulled by parties and drinking and shopping. Otherwise, that day is going to take you by complete surprise. Spring on you suddenly, like a trap, for it's going to come on everyone, everywhere at once. So whatever you do, don't fall asleep at the wheel. Pray constantly that you will have the strength and wit to make it through everything that's coming and end up on your feet before the Son of Man. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Here then, a thought to go with that incredible bit of Bible teaching that Jesus says is for his time, but also has yet to happen. Clever people. Clever people have noted that ideas move from place to place over time. Many ideas that originated in America have flown across the water and have been absorbed into our culture. There was a time in this country when we ran on tea and tea shops. That's what this country is famous for. Well, in America, it was coffee and coffee shops. But in the last 20 years, maybe longer, our UK culture has changed, and we've absorbed that coffee drinking movement. And now coffee drinking here is as prevalent as tea drinking was many years ago. And it's not just from America to the UK that culture shifts, but also from our urban centres like London outwards to the other areas of the country as a whole. One that I've seen in my lifetime is to do with traffic light etiquette. You heard it, traffic light etiquette. From 2002 to 2005, we relocated as a family to Cambridge so I could do my theological training. And after living all my life in South Wales, there were obviously going to be cultural differences, but it was traffic light etiquette that I noticed first. Yeah. Now, when I passed my driving test, I was taught that when you saw a red light, you stopped the car. When you saw a red and amber light together, you got ready to go. When you saw a green light, the road was yours. As well as that, if you saw an amber light, you knew that red was going to be the next, so you needed to stop safely before you got to the line and the light turned red. It's in the highway code. It's what was taught me. It's what I learned, and it's what people did in Wales at least. Arriving in Cambridge and getting used to my surroundings, though, I noticed very quickly that motorists there have been taught a different highway code. Maybe there's an English version, I was thinking, to which I had to adapt to. I quickly learned that a red light, as before, meant stop, and a red and amber together meant get ready to go, but it was the green that had to be relearned. Okay, green no longer means that the road was yours, but that you needed to wait for all the cars jumping the other red lights to clear before moving off. And then when you did actually move off, you had to keep looking for others who regarded red lights as an inconvenience. And I'm not even going to begin to talk about the cyclists. Cambridge is famous for cyclists, who, as well as being colour blind, seem to flit between road, pavement, bus lane, as the fancy took them. It was quite crackers. Back in Wales, then, after our stint abroad, the green light returned to its old familiar roles. But as the years have ticked on, I've noticed the Cambridge effect move from east to west in the UK. And now here, you can't presume that green means go, just like that, you know. The red light has gone from being regarded as something that should be obeyed to something that has to be ignored at worst. You know, I've seen people just drive straight through red lights and put up with at best. The kind of rush, got to get through the lights effect has become firmly embedded here. People just have to get through as fast as they can. You know, the red light, the red traffic light, I think, has become a sign of our times. A sign of our times. Okay. Now there may be other signs of our times that you can think of. You know, have a discussion with yourself. There may be other signs of our times that you can think of that you've noticed over the years. You know, red lights aren't the only ones that show a changing culture. A broad reading around various subjects, and I say broad reading because you can't necessarily trust the mainstream media to give you the full picture anymore, will show that things are forever changing and that the planet as well as its various cultures ebb and flow. So we do need, as human beings, and especially Christians, to be aware of signs. In today's gospel snippet, Jesus is chatting to the boys and talks about signs in the sun and moon and stars and sea that one day will all come together and will cause people to stop and take note and wonder what on earth is going on. We're not talking climate change here, but a final shaking of all the things that we depend on to announce, just signs of something, to announce the return of Jesus, not as a little baby this time, arriving quietly at night, but arriving in full view of the world for all to see. What's it going to exactly look like? Dunno. Many have wasted much ink and breath on speculating exactly when this event would happen, and the truth is, nobody really knows. Many dates have been speculated, many hypotheses have been put forward, and they're all interesting background reading, but nothing is definitive. Jesus just simply tells us, be aware. As we are naturally aware to the passing seasons, and tells us to chat about it, you know, and prepare for it. It's going to be a great day for us who are his friends. By Jesus' death and resurrection, this is what Christians believe, death and evil have been conquered in principle. I tell people at every funeral. But on that day that Jesus reappears, time will stop, and death and evil and all who side with them will be wiped off the face of the planet. God will just sort it all out. Really exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. I don't think Jesus is going to come back before Christmas. But then at the same time, I do wonder if his return is that far away. When you see each year a slow drift from all that God has created, called holy and taught, being changed. God the Father has been replaced by Mother Nature. Creation has been replaced by accidental evolution. The rainbow, which is a reminder of God's provision, has been used by lobby groups in anger. Sunday has become sports day. Worship still goes on because that's what human beings are good at, but it's now moved to stadiums with sport. The Bible doesn't even have its own section in bookshops anymore and is listed in self-help more often than not. Yeah? Jesus has been reduced to being just one of the many good teachers that have bubbled up from time to time. The ideal of a family being based around a male and a female, which is still the only way to create another human being, has become just one definition of a family unit. Indeed, the seemingly unchanging idea of God making them male and female, quoting from Genesis there, has recently come under the spotlight as we are moving to a society with Mr., Mrs., Mux, and a million other pronouns. Don't get me wrong, okay? Don't take me out of context here. Some of these ideas are challenging us to think again and become more compassionate in our faith. Some of these things are good. Bit of a shake-up, it's not bad, yeah? They're causing us to become more compassionate in our faith and in our society. But I think many have gone beyond that and are now just being used as weapons, you know? I know if you say what you think and it's God-based, i.e. hasn't changed, you're just called old, Luddite, out of touch. And you think, hang on, how's that, you know? There are signs that things are improving in the world, if you go looking for them, yeah? It's not all doom and gloom. And there are signs that show the world is drifting from God's intention into chaos as well, you know? Have a broad look. Okay, how to sum all of what I've just said up? Well, how's about this? Jesus today reminds us that everything is in God's control. And we shouldn't shy away from chatting about the fact. We shouldn't shy away from chatting about what is going on in the world. And most importantly, we shouldn't shy away from telling people to get ready for the day when the whole world will not be able to miss the signs of the times, the signs of Jesus' return. Keep them peeled, and keep this peeled as well. Jesus will come back one day, and this reading is a warning, you know, telling us it will happen. It will happen. Good stuff. Good stuff. Right, a couple of questions for you. 4 as ever. I thought of knocking it down to 3 or 5, but it's tradition now, isn't it? 4 questions. Something for you to sort of take each one, you know, maybe day by day, and just have a think. Number 1, have you noticed ideas drift from place to place? Have you noticed how an idea that you saw once somewhere else has now drifted to where you're living today? Number 2, have you investigated fully all the things that are going on in the world today? You know, I tell people about what I think of this and what I think of that, and they go, do you really believe that? Yeah, I've done some thinking. You know, it may not be completely mainstream, but yeah, I've done a bit of thinking. You know, have you investigated fully, okay, all the things that are going on in the world today? You need to be informed as Christians. Number 3, how does this Bible snippet make you feel? You know, when you sit down and you read, you know, Jesus, you know, he heals people, he teaches, and he just comes out with, oh, by the way, let me tell you about the end of the world. How does this Bible snippet make you feel? And number 4, how does knowing Jesus will return one day make you feel? Because that's what we're talking about, you know. Knowing that one day Jesus, our brother, our friend, our Saviour, is going to come back. And if we're still living, he's going to just carry us off, you know. Those that have died in the faith, he's going to come and collect, you know. How does knowing Jesus will return one day, either he's a liar and a cheat, I don't think he is at all, how does that make you feel? Okay, 4 questions for you. Still happy to receive your homework if you want to send it to me. Song. One of my favourite hymns at this time of year is O Come Emmanuel. I love the line that reads, and ransom captive Israel. You know, it sums up God's heart for his children. You can see them stuck and he wants to save them. So let's enjoy a beautiful version of O Come Emmanuel. I'll pop it on the end for us. Before that then, and to finish off, hands together, close your eyes, I'll say a prayer for us all. Dear God, thank you that you are in charge, and that in the same way as you sent Jesus into the world once before, you will send him again when the time is right to complete all things. Help us to notice the signs of the times and use this season of Advent to make sure that we are ready for him when he arrives. Amen. Amen. keep safe, everybody. I'll either see you in person in a church somewhere, or we'll communicate kind of this way. Or like I said, you can give us a ring, or you can request, the words that we've been saying. Whatever. Keep safe. See you on the other side.
O come Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel. That mourns in lowly exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou rod of Jesse, free thine own from Satan's tyranny. From depths of hell thy people save, and give them victory o'er the grave. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Thou day spring from on high, and cheer us by thy drawing nigh. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou Key of David, come and open wide our heavenly home. Make safe the way that leads on high, and close a path to rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Adonai, Lord. Sinai's height. In ancient times didst give the law in cloud and majesty and awe. Rejoice